like 4 times and during that time. And I started working with process improvement project and in IT. So I decided probably I will move to IT because it what sounds more creative than being in accounting. And that's when I started changing more. I finally get a job in 2016 in Leverkusen, in Germany, working managing vendors in the development area of IT. And at the time, Bayer was moving very close to empowering innovation and promoting innovation. So I start teaching myself a lot of innovation method. I study innovation management and design thinking. And I had a short-term assignment. It's like an internal internship in the corporate innovation group, and they were who taught me like most of the things that I have known, like how to build business model, how to do the value proposition, and so on. And then I moved to close to pharma marketing, and I'm working mostly with women's health and developing medical devices for helping women's. So that's kind of like in the nutshell what I have done so far.
Wow, that's so interesting. So exactly what women's sales do you, can you specify? Or
Well, we are tackling two problems in at the moment in women's health. One is the heavy menstrual bleeding. This is a condition that is kind of like 50% undiagnosed. Most women complain about heavy bleeding, but most of the time their mothers or their friends say, oh no, this is normal, we all bleed a lot at certain times. But they don't know that after, if you are bleeding more than 80 milliliters in your cycle, that's heavy menstrual, that's not normal, and you're probably developing anemia and so on. And we're developing an app that helps the diagnosis, to quantify how much blood you're losing during your cycle. So, and we're also developing another app for supporting women that decide to have an intrauterine system.
mm-hmm.
They're changing from pill to the iOS. There's totally different changes that your body have to get used to, and we're kind of like building a companion for women to understand more their body.
Wow, that would be very helpful. Those are great projects. My next question is, what motivates your continuous engagement with mentoring young minds?
Well, I think that I like people that doesn't like out of the box, that they always have new perspective. In Bayer, some friend of us or some colleagues develop a community that is called Young at Bayer. And even though I'm 46, I joined that group and say, oh, this is super cool. And we're developing, trying to see how can we promote them to a higher position, how can we develop new cultures, new way of doing, so everyone is engaged. So it's not only about diversity of race or nationality, it's also diversity of age and diversity of perspective. So I think that's kind of like, if we have different point of view, we can create awesome solutions.
Wow, yes, thank you so much. And you're working on a project called #MoreScience4Berlin. Can you elaborate what that focuses on?
Yes, that's, well, I'm supporting some friend of mine. We're a team from different pharmaceutical. We have a few from Bayer, a few from Sanofi, Pfizer, Regeneron, and we are trying to make Berlin the place where, as innovative as it is Boston and other cities that has a lot of startup in biotech. So we are combining our effort and the efforts of the University of the Freie University of Berlin, like the Free University of Berlin, and the community of different biotechs. See how can we promote them and help Berlin become as attractive as it could be probably Boston.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we have a couple more new people who joined. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat or unmute yourself or raise your hand. But if not, I have more questions. So can you talk about how you became involved with building future leaders in low-income communities? And when did you realize that it was your transformative purpose and that you really enjoyed doing this?
Well, I first started working with an NGO in Venezuela. I'm original from Venezuela. And when was it? Around 2005 or so, when I lost my visa in the US. And that NGO was trying to prevent prostitution in kids in the island of Margarita, that's in the Venezuelan island in the Caribbean. And I found that the young people in low income community have a huge gap of needs that probably will never gonna be overcome or fulfilled if we don't have somebody who can help them. I found too many differences in between classes, things that we needed to tackle, and if we didn't have the help them to become the best they could, they will probably will go into different directions, no? So last year, Bayer proposed to meet different sustainability challenges, and I started working to become a sustainability innovation champion. And during that training, I decided that what I want to tackle, the solutions that I want to build, was helping women in Latin America to develop their skills, but mainly the first problem that I need to solve was preventing early pregnancies. In low-income community, the fertility rate in Latin America is one of the highest rate, as the second highest rate after South Africa. And maternity death is one of the second leading causes of death in teenagers in Latin America. So one of the issues that we have in our region is that we don't like to speak about sex to our kids. We think that if we talk about sex at early age, they were promoting to be promiscuous, or that, and not at all. In Europe, they are teaching them and seeing this that as natural as it could be, and it's not a big deal. And they don't have so many early pregnancy as we have in our countries. I also found when I was living in Kentucky, there was a town near where I was living. It was called Paris, but it, almost like wherever you go, you will see a teenage girl pregnant. And it was a very low income community town. And those girls it will be very difficult for them to develop, to get into a higher position, because they first have to see how can survive and maintain their kids.
Right. Have there been any improvements made to introduce sex education, better sex education in these regions? Have you
At the
seen?
moment, not, because also it's totally a taboo, and this is something that we're trying to tackle. I am in partnership with different sustainability departments in Latin America, one from Costa Rica, Colombia, and Peru. Also Brazil is helping me. And we're going to start first trying to capture material, helping parents to overcome that taboo, helping parents to talk about sex with their kids. And then we will see if we can develop a hackathon in September. That's our aim, to have kids develop their proper content, and that will educate themselves how to talk about those topics with their friends, and so they will see that is not a big deal. They will become ambassadors of that topic.
Right. And I'm sure that this problem has impacted your life somehow. And how do you think your career right now has kind of shaped who you are?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like I like to fight for those who doesn't have a voice. It's something that
Mhm.
I don't know. Probably I feel like a little bit Jeanne of Arc, but also is coming from a low middle income country as Venezuela, that is totally chaos. See so much misery, and after moving to others country where there's so many opportunity, I see that I would love others to have the same opportunity that I was able to get.
I see. Okay. And also, just a question, because I know that in America, like there's a big problem that there's uh, gender inequality in engineering and STEM backgrounds and those careers. So I'm wondering, in Bayer AG where you work, do you see a big disparity at all
Yes, yes,
in
yes.
women?
Yeah, I keep telling my friends, when I studied mechanical engineering in Venezuela, and I was the only woman in my class, and
Wow.
my friends didn't have any issue about it. It was the teachers that didn't like it at all. They wanted to make jokes, and they asked me to go out of the room so they could make the joke, and that really get into my nerves, and I became super feminist. Probably got worse when I moved to the US. So it was kind of blah. And but I found out that in Germany is this topic needs to be tackled, because they are very far behind. If it is being a woman in Venezuela was difficult, in Germany, I think it is much more challenge. In IT, there's no many women. Those that are in there, when we try to develop or give our opinion, it's like, how do you know? It's like we are run by default, and you really need to fight your position and your point of view. It's not easy. Thankfully, we have
Right.
create different communities that is called Grow, that will help us develop and help us mentor others to find their equality. But
Mhm.
it's a long way to go. I think that still there's a lot to do.
Yeah, and I think hackathons like these are a great opportunity for anyone to come and kind of fearlessly, um, without any hesitation, just pitch whatever idea they would like. So, what other hackathons have you participated or mentored in before?
Oh, well, Jesus and Kiliana are here. They're kind of like my partners in crime. I
Nice.
should blame Jesus for all those hackathons that were being involved. We start when we started the lockdown for last year, it was March. So we participate in Beat the Pandemic 1 for MIT, that was organized by MIT. And then Jesus got super in love with that, and he was one of the track lead for Beat the Pandemic 2 and start also co-organizing. And I followed his step, and I also was kind of like his track support and mentor. I started mentoring too. Then they start talking that we should develop another hackathon in MIT for Latin America. And when they say Latin America, I jump. It's like, I'm here. So they ask us, Kiliana, Jesus, well, Julia too, there's not here, if we can help to be co-organizer on that hackathon. And that was amazing experience. It was super great, a lot of work, but it was great experience. We have people speaking English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And we were those things, Jesus and I wouldn't speak Portuguese, but I found that because I speak a little bit of Catalan, I could understand a little bit, but it was amazing. Really love it. We also went into Duke University. We helped you guys at Yale last year too, and probably Jesus can tell you more because there's so many. We have also supporting Cambridge right now as well this weekend. There's many more. I don't remember all of them that we have. Jesus is probably having all the list in the chat.
UBC, listing all of them. UCSD
He does more than me. I'm at the moment trying to finish a specialization in pharma marketplace, and I cannot work, study, and do hackathons at the same time.
Yeah. Wow, that's must be very busy. This is my very first hackathon, and it's definitely very new for me.
Yeah, but I bet it's not gonna be the last one.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
What did you like the most about it?
Seeing the people, the other participants, like being at home all the time. I haven't really seen many friends, but it's like there are real people behind the computer screen, and there are hundreds of people. So it's just mind-blowing, and all of them are so friendly, and they love to get to know you. So that's nice.
Yeah, and exchanging with different cultures is fascinating. It's like it's one of the few benefits, because we haven't had too many from COVID, but one of the few is that now we can really work global, you know.
Yeah, this virtual scenario is changing everything.
Indeed.
Yeah. Let's see. If anyone has any questions, feel free to leave this in the chat. Yeah, that makes me wonder, if we didn't have COVID, what would the hackathon be like in person? That's just one thing that I wondered about.
I don't know, because I have never participated in one before, and it was something that Jesus was very much into. Probably, I don't think that so many will go back to be on site, because they won't have the advantage of have so much diversity.
Right.
And if you're doing on site, you have to travel, you have to pay hotel and so on. It's not the same if you have everyone working from their home, come from their home, and have people from different countries participating and join together in different teams.
I definitely think that this COVID has like accelerated everything going virtual. Like, it was eventually meant to be, we're going to rely on technology more, but it's definitely made it faster. And we have a question from Jesus. What do you love more, horses or people?
I don't know. Dogs are not there. I also love dogs. But
Yes, that's tender.
at the beginning, when I have to leave the horse business, it was difficult to be in an office. I feel like I was trapped. And being able to work with people all the time was kind of like a hassle for me at the beginning. I really like my best, but now when I come back to Kentucky and I'm around horses, it's not the same. I feel like they are strangers.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you first met Bayer, a salesman at Bayer, while you were working with horses, right? Can you
Yeah,
go
when I was
into that?
working in a pharmacy, in a
Mhm.
veterinary pharmacy.
And how did a pharmaceutical company salesman come to meet you when you were at a veterinarian
Well, they were
pharmacy?
selling us the some of the product for dogs and horses.
For dog
Well,
and
we
horse.
were Bayer was producing one of the greatest antibiotics for castrating horses and cows. So we were buying a lot of that, and the color for fleas and ticks was a super high sale. But unfortunately, animal health was divested from Bayer, and we no longer have those products under our name.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's very cool.
Yeah, they're now
Um,
in Elanco, and yeah, Elanco. I think they're American.
oh, yeah, I'll have to look that up. Um, Kiliana asks, how many marathons have you run in your life? Or
Only one. Thank for them.
one?
It was another virtual thing that I came up with. TCS, Tata Consulting, developed the New York Marathon virtually last year in Strava, and I decided to start training on that. I was only running half marathons, and said, "Well, I'm gonna train on that." And thanks to them, I was running all by myself on a very awful day. It was raining, but I needed to do it. And I was telling them in chat, I still have like 20 more guys, but I'm gonna make it. And thanks to them, I finished, and I did the marathon in 4 hours, my first one. And I think it
Wow,
wasn't that bad, but it killed me almost. So, but I am again trying to train for another one.
that's great. Do you ever, I'm from LA and I ran the LA Marathon a long time ago when I was in high school, but nowhere near your time. I took my time. I was jogging the whole way. But do you think you'll ever do the LA Marathon? It was beautiful.
Oh yes, I have never been to California.
Oh, really?
The farther I have been in the from the west side is called, I think it is Colorado.
Mm.
Then I did a training in artificial insemination for horses, and also managing frozen semen. So I was very much into reproduction subject of my life, I think.
Yeah, and you still are, and it's a good cause. Um, let's see. So, what do you think you would have been doing right now if you didn't uh, go in the pharma direction?
I probably would have continued. Well, if I have had the chance, I will probably have continued working with horses,
Mm.
and also or something related to the working with NGOs on helping kids, something that I really have that in my heart. It's either something helping somebody that don't have a voice or don't have the strength to fight for their own
Mm.
cause.
I see. There's a question in the chat. Is there something like women's health for horses? Because female horses have their own health system too. So is it like?
Yeah, I work mostly in reproduction and with well, my uncle is a veterinarian and he focuses in breeding too. And that's how I learned most of the stuff that I'm applying now in women's health. I'm with medical affair colleagues discussing about cycles, and what I have in my mind is, well, what I know about me, but also is what I have learned from the horse business. Though unfortunately, I like it more the part of the stallion, the men health, but we don't have too much in to develop that